Moving Iron Podcast is proud to be part of the Global Ag Network. The network is going live soon, so check out globalagnetwork.com for more details and updates. Now on to the show.
Moving higher in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving higher time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving higher.
Hello and good morning to Moving Iron Podcast Market Rundown with Angie Setzer, part of the Global Ag Network. Angie, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Well, lots of stuff going on. Markets have kind of been back and forth and up and down and all over the place this week. So what's your take on all that, and how do you see this week ending so far?
Well, it looks like I said it midweek on Twitter, and I'll say it again. In this current market setup, without any sort of new major information coming out from the USDA or anything like that, as a farmer, you've got to get comfortable with the range. You know, what does that look like? And on the front month of corn, it's about 370 to about 385, 388 has been what we've been hoping to see. A lot of my customers have had a chunk of orders in a 388 that have been parked there for quite some time, but it appears as though we just want to kind of trade in this range. There's not anything that we've seen, at least at this point in time, to push us beyond that. Now, typically, you know, in a trading range or in a situation like we're in, you're going to move down a couple cents and move back up a couple cents and move back down a couple cents. And this one's been kind of like, okay, we're going to lose a dime in 2 days and gain it back in a day and a half kind of deal. And so it's been a little bit more volatile, a little bit more unusual, but obviously, you know, we're in a little bit of uncharted territory. We have a trade war we're trying to resolve. At the same time, we have a government shutdown. So that's you know, never taken place before. So we did start out the week down, you know, pretty significantly here, only to get some rumors out yesterday. I mean, yesterday was really fueled Thursday's trade, you know, where we were up 7 on corn, up 15 on beans, up big on wheat. It was fueled by, you know, 3, I would say, different chunks of rumors. The first one was China was in buying U.S. hard red wheat, which is really interesting in the sense that China is sitting on 54% of the world's wheat stocks. So if you're sitting on over half of the world's stocks, why would you need to purchase wheat? Well, obviously, you know, A, China probably doesn't have what they say they do, and B, the quality of it is probably really poor. So that started kind of giving us some buying incentive. About midway through the day, we had a report come out from the Wall Street Journal that Stephen Mnuchin, the Trade Secretary, or the Treasury Secretary, had said that the U.S. was going to roll back or remove all imports on Chinese products. So the imports that we have in place on Chinese products, he had said was going to be rolled back, or at least offered to be rolled back during the January 30th trade discussions that are scheduled, you know, here in a couple weeks. Unfortunately, after the close, Trade Representative Lighthizer was like, that has not been discussed, not even a little bit. We haven't even brought that up to Trump because he's going to shoot that idea down in a heartbeat. So where that came from is kind of questionable, I guess you could say. But then there was also a discussion that China and the U.S. were working on putting the framework together for a $50 billion ag buying package, so that China is going to be looking to buy a significant amount. Obviously, nothing has been confirmed. I'm not even really sure where the sources got their information for that rumor, but that's where we're at. I mean, we're in a situation right now where we don't have official news, and without official news, then you're left to trade on what the conversation looks like, maybe what a tweet says, maybe what a known, you know, advisor or someone in the know, you know, right. Completely anonymous. Right. He can say things, and so that's really what we saw yesterday. That was the fuel for the move higher.
Yeah. And, you know, from the way it sounds and everything that I've listened to and the banter back and forth between, you know, Schumer and Pelosi and Trump and da-da-da-da-da, and their tit for tat here and everything else that they have going on, sounds like to me this government shutdown might be a little bit before they before we might get the February and the January stock report at the same time.
I didn't hear I lost you on what you said there, so I'm going to have to read lips better, I think.
That's right. I was just saying that it sounds like the government shutdown is going to last a little bit longer here. There's not anything on the horizon showing that it's going to shut down anytime soon.
The conversation at this point in time is that we're probably going to see a China trade resolution before we see a government shutdown resolution.
Yeah.
So that's huge too. And so there's been talk out of the House that we were going to, basically refund, reopen the USDA. Nothing, the Senate has not picked that up at all. We did see a little bit of some escalation, I guess you could say, in the trade, in the government shutdown conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
Pelosi said that Trump should skip the State of the Union, and Pelosi was on her way to the airport for a multi-day international trip, and Trump was like, "You can fly commercial if you'd like," and so that was interesting to see, as well, and that doesn't tend to indicate that we're going to see many changes on that side.
Yep. Well, if we continue down the same path, the China thing's only been going on for 9 months now, about 9 months. So hey, we're well within the scope for shutdowns too. So it could just be good times all the way around.
Trump did say that it could last months or years.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So anyway, well, Angie, if folks want to reach out to you, pick your brain a little bit, or just ask you a question about something to do with the grains, how would they do that?
You can find me on Twitter at GoddessOfGrain, or you can reach out to me on email, asetzer@citizenselevator.com.
Make sure you check out Angie and her crew on Girls Talk Ag on the Global Ag Network. And Angie, till next week, have a good week, and we'll talk to you then.
You too. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Moving Iron Podcast. Remember, if you want to continue any of these conversations, you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Moving Iron LLC. You can also send me an email at movingironpodcast@movingironpodcast.com. You can also visit the Moving Iron Podcast YouTube channel. Here you can find Morning Market Roundup with Chip Nellinger and Angie Setzer. Also, Tax Moves with Glenn Birnbaum. Moving Iron Podcast is proud to be part of the Global Ag Network. The network is going live soon, so check out globalagnetwork.com for more details and updates. You'll be able to hear Dryline Farmer Podcast, Girls Talk Ag, the Topsoil Podcast, Ag News Daily, Working Cows, Heifer Please, Throwback Iron, and Ask Agnes. Please visit movingironllc.com. Here you can find information, details, and updates for the 2019 Moving Iron Summit in Nashville, Tennessee. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can leave a review and subscribe at your favorite podcasting platform. And you can find this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, and SoundCloud. So until next time, let's go move some iron. This is Casey Seymour. Out.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving